Mike, we're going to move on to the roundup now. If you don't mind, I'm going to start with the ladies for a
Carry
change.
on, sir.
Sunday, probably the game everybody's been waiting for, top of the table clash. They previously were 8 from 8. Harlequins and Saracens came together. And in a reversal of the men's fixture, which was played on, I think Saturday, was it?
Yeah.
The Harlequins ladies lost out to Saracens 19 points to 28. So they now find themselves a whole 4 points behind, no longer at the top of the league there. The big surprise for me, I know there's a few points between them in the league, or a few gaps between them in the league, but Wasps 44, Richmond 0. That's a bit of a whooping by anybody's standards. A very tough match, and I hadn't had the opportunity to read a write-up on it, but I'd like to have been there because 12-12, a draw between two good teams, Furwood and Worcester Valkyries. That sounds like it was all played in the middle of the park, really. It was quite an interesting one. Bit of a runaway for Bristol. They beat Darlington 26 points to 3. I can't imagine that would be quite as an interesting match to watch. Then Loughborough Lightning, a team that I've sort of backed a little bit at the beginning of the season, they came good with a good 10-point win, 43-33 over Gloucester. But really, the league stayed pretty static, really. Darlington are coming up with Richmond at the bottom there, 13 and 14 points respectively. But there's a bit of a log jam in the middle. And then, not quite 10 points, 7 points at the top between Harlequins in second, and then 4 points with Saracens on top. So, I think a bit early days, like you said last week when I saw you trying to bring along the new boy on the panel last week.
Did I fail or?
No, he didn't do it too bad. He's got a bit of probation to go, you know.
Right, okay.
But there is a bit of a gap starting at the top.
Yeah.
What have you got for the men?
Well, I was actually not looking forward to this evening because I thought the prediction that Coventry would win that league, would this be their first defeat, and would we be subjected to all sorts of abuse from Coventry fans? Well, it didn't happen because they went down to Priory Lane in Roehampton. They beat Rosslyn Park 43-13 and still have the perfect unbeaten record. The only interesting thing, and I've not noticed it, but they've gradually gone down the league, is now Rosslyn Park have actually entered the relegation zone. And I think we'll talk more about relegation candidates next week. But that's a bit of a blow for them. So they're going to have to actually...
A lot of history, that club.
Yeah, it is indeed.
A lot of history.
Elsewhere, Darlington beat Ampthill, so 21-15, so they go into second place. And Plymouth are in third, having beaten Hull Ionians. But Coventry really just leading that league really comfortably. In the north, Stourbridge had got off to the perfect start. They were opening their artificial grass pitch.
Oh, right.
And,
is that one of the RFU ones? Yeah,
it is, yeah. Big crowd there. Celebration and occasion, but it wasn't a celebration, I'm afraid, on the pitch. They slumped to a 35-0 defeat at the hands of Hinckley, who now actually go top of that league. And Stourbridge now, having, I said, won the first 9 games, they've now lost 3 and drawn 1 over the last 4 weeks. They moved down to 5th. Tyndale come into seconds. It's the second place. They won at Luctonians 40-38, and Sale move into third place, having beaten Chester 40 points to 10. Very tight at the top of that. You've got Hinckley and Tyndale on 54 points, and you've got Sale on 52. So that's really warming up into quite a competition. National 2, Chinner go on, unbeaten still.
I saw that.
They beat third place Taunton 13-7. Very tough game. Not great conditions. Defences were calling the tune, but nevertheless a good win for Chinner. Cinderford found it easy. I mean, Redruth travelled up into the Forest of Dean and were well beaten, 49 points to 19. So they stay in second place. As I said, Taunton now stay in third, and they're 9 points behind the leaders and 8 points behind Cinderford. And Redigensians Rams, having beaten Bury St Edmunds, now occupy 4th place in the league, or continue to operate occupy fourth place in the league. Regional leagues, London, well, a little stability this week. Hertford managed to retain the top spot by beating Sidcup 32-25. Guernsey stays second. They won 39-8 at Westcombe Park, and Tring beat Barnes 31-10. So there's no change there. Tring are in third, Barnes are in fourth. Midlands, well, Birmingham, Solihull look very impressive indeed. I won't actually take the risk now of
tipping them for the top.
No, I won't do that. Yeah, but they had a close game with Peterborough Lions. They won 22-17. But they're pulling ahead. They're on 16 points. They're 16 points ahead now of Peterborough Lions. Ahead of Newport. So that's, they're going. Particularly, they're in a strong position. They're going particularly well. Preston Grasshoppers are likewise up north. They beat bottom of the league Morley 38-10. Yeah, they retain top place. Lymm stays second by virtue of beating Harrogate at home. In the southwest, well, Dings stuttered a bit. They suffered 2 defeats, but they made no mistake on Saturday. They absolutely thrashed Exmouth 64-14. And their credentials now are looking particularly good to top the league there. But the surprise of the day was Newton Abbott, who would be the big threat to Dings, going over to Newbury and being beaten 27-12. So Dings are now 7 points ahead of Newton Abbott, with Bournemouth back in third place. And finally, in the Berkshire derby, Maidenhead won the derby. They beat Bracknell 28-25. Very close.
That was on their AstroTurf, wasn't it?
No, that was at Bracknell.
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Bracknell.
It was at Lily Hill. Yeah, very close game, very exciting game, and some good entertaining rugby. Fixtures for this week, well, 2 I'd pick out. Tyndale against Stourbridge, because Stourbridge have got to stop the rot. And I know they've had difficulties with the injury list, but it's going to be a tough call up in Tyndale. And it could also now create a gap and with Stourbridge just dropping down. Yeah. And the other one is Taunton against Cinderford.
Quality game that's going to be.
Yeah, because once again, Taunton now, they can't really afford to lose. So that's going to be quite an exciting. But wherever you go this week, I think you'll find the rugby will be exciting. So once, as I say, every week, get behind your local clubs, get out and support the clubs.
And don't cancel any fixtures.
No, certainly not on the Friday night. Well, no, not at all.
Not at all. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Cheers now.